The floodwaters are receding in Kerala. Politics of polarization over the devastating flood has very predictably started, and for some strange reason it's an MLA of Karnataka, Basangouda Patil, who has taken it upon himself to decide that Kerala is being punished for consuming beef. Did this misplaced protest by the Youth Congress in Kerala last year bring a flood tragedy upon the state? This, at least, is the wisdom of a BJP MLA from Karnataka.
ಗೋಹತ್ಯೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಹಿಂದೂಗಳ ಭಾವನೆ. ನಾವು ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಧರ್ಮದ ಭಾವನೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಹಿಂದೂ ಭಾವನೆಗಳನ್ನ ಯಾರು ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಶಾಸ್ತಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇವತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಧರ್ಮನೇ ಹೇಳಂಗ. ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಭಾರತೀಯ ಸೈನ್ಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಮೀನು ಮಟ್ಟುವಂತವ್ರನ್ನ ಯೋಗ್ಯರು ಅವ್ರ ದೇಶನಾಗ ಇರಬಾರ್ದು, ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಆ ಕಡೆ ಪಾಕಿಸ್ತಾನ.
That's right. According to Basangouda Patil, it's not years of neglect and rampant haphazard construction, but hurt Hindu sentiments because of beef consumption and cow slaughter that has led to this.
ಗೋಹತ್ಯೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಹಿಂದೂಗಳ ಭಾವನೆ. ನಾವು ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಧರ್ಮದ ಭಾವನೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಹಿಂದೂ ಭಾವನೆಗಳನ್ನ ಯಾರು ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಶಾಸ್ತಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇವತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಧರ್ಮನೇ ಹೇಳಂಗ. ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಭಾರತೀಯ ಸೈನ್ಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಮೀನು ಮಟ್ಟುವಂತವ್ರನ್ನ ಯೋಗ್ಯರು ಅವ್ರ ದೇಶನಾಗ ಇರಬಾರ್ದು, ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಆ ಕಡೆ ಪಾಕಿಸ್ತಾನ.
Why you won't even talk about all these things? What is that got to do with the calamity? In Puri it's happened. In Karnataka it's happened. So what does Mary Yatnal have to say to that? And what about in Gujarat when the earthquake took place? What does Mary Yatnal say for what reason the earthquake took place in Gujarat that time, in Bhuj? So this kind of language by Mr. Yatnal is shameful. I don't think he's fit to be a public representative.
Close to 450 people have already lost their lives in the Kerala flood so far. Would politicians not be better placed discussing the real reasons for the tragedy, or is that not as beneficial as trying their hand at using Kerala's misery for their communal politics? With Nolan Pinto and Nagarjun in Bengaluru, Bureau Report, India Today. All right, before we get into our debate with the BJP and try to get a few answers from them, there is news that is just coming in. Members of the BJP stalled a discussion during a parliamentary party meet on demonetization. Remember, the parliamentary panel's report on the note ban had criticized demonetization. The report said 1% loss in GDP took place because of demonetization. BJP members, though, stalled the report and did not allow any discussion on it. Okay, we'll try and get details of what exactly happened in a meeting of the parliamentary party. Let me go back to our big story right now, and activist Rahul Ishwar is live with us on that. Do you find it strange that from menstruating women to now apparently consumption of beef, Rahul Ishwar, is behind the Kerala tragedy? Not, for example, the rampant sand mining that has taken place in rivers, or even what the Gadgil committee report says.
Padmajaji, I know as the president of Ayyappa Dharma Sena and an intervener in Supreme Court, we have formally and officially requested everyone not to connect this great Kerala floods to either Shabarimala, or as a Hindu activist, we have requested not to connect it to cow or beef eating. See, please remember, we have lost 400 people, 20,000 crore rupees has been lost, hundreds and thousands of cows have been killed. Let us not connect it to anything. And I am also an ordinary devotee. If you want to link it to anything, we can say that Shabarimala Ayyappa is angry with us for not thinking about Gadgil Committee report and ecology. Because Ayyappa is also the god of Sahyadri or the Western gods. Let us please be realistic. Let us connect it to, yes, I am a spiritualist. I am not a very scientific, progressive thinker. But let us be more realistic on ground people so that we can be better prepared next time. Let us connect it to Gadgil Committee report, Kasturi Rangan report, ecology, Sahyadri's issue, mining in those areas. And please remember, please be sensitive. And I hope He's a senior he was a former union minister, senior BJP MLA. I hope BJP officially either distance itself from the remarks or at least condemns those remarks, because it is highly insensitive to the people of Kerala, and I am absolutely sure people who belong to both right and left will agree with me, because we are seeing people who have lost their dear ones. Are we going to tell them that it is all because some college conducted a bee festival that your kid has lost its life, or you are lost your entire life savings? So
is this Rahul Ishwar? I can't even imagine that any right-thinking person would genuinely believe that a protest, or that ill-thought-out, extremely disgusting protest by the Youth Congress last year would have resulted in what has befallen Kerala. Is this not simply an attempt to try and rake up a religious, communal, polarizing issue, even if it means rubbing salt into the wounds of people who have lost their property and lives in the Kerala flood?
I cannot help but agree with you saying that it is something like rubbing salt into the wounds. I have personally assured many Hindu leaders, and especially people like Chakrapani ji, where we said we will take care of the cows. Please don't be worried. But this is not the time to raise it. See, cow production is a different issue. Sabarimala Supreme Court is a different issue, and there were many senior leaders who raised it in Twitter. We said, see, we are on-ground people. We are troubled by this. Please understand, when people question us on these kind of remarks, as a Hindu activist, it pains me, so that we are answerable to them. Let us please connect it to report, ecology, Sahyadri, and all the issues, and not to these kind of issues. I am also an ordinary believer. There may be emotional outbursts from people like me who are ordinary people, who are not very scientific thinking people or rationalists. But please avoid these emotional outbursts as far as possible, and let us talk realistically on ground with a scientific flavor if possible. And if you really want to talk spiritually, please consider that it is because Sabarimala Ayyappa is angry that Gadgil committee report is not taken care of. I am saying that we should take into confidence our Christian Sabhas and the others before implementing Gadgil committee report. At the same point of time, let us talk ecology and not Sabarimala temple and cow at this point of time.
Okay, let me bring in Adil Singh Boparaya as well. Do you think it's just a coincidence that an MLA, not even from Kerala, from Karnataka, decides to read into the Kerala floods the possible Hindu fury because of cow slaughter by your Youth Congress members incidentally last year, and also that the state consumes beef?
Well, Padmaja, today I'm at a loss of words, and I'm at a loss of words because I'm a human being. Today in our country, empathy, compassion, solidarity seem to have completely disappeared. The BJP started with communalizing incidents of crime, and now they've reached a point where they've started communalizing incidents of natural calamity. Where are we going as a society? If you can't be a good human, forget being a good politician. Let me tell my BJP friends and the others on the panel. The fact of the matter is the BJP rewards such elements. You've seen it in the past. He's the same MLA who had said that had I been the Home Minister, I would have shot down all intellectuals. Now I consider Padmaja you as an intellectual. I consider so many others as an intellectual. Intellectuals have built this country. This is the mindset which we should be really wary of. And it worries me, and let me tell you, I just don't say this as a Congress spokesperson today. I say this as a young person, a young Indian citizen. Where are we going as a country? And Mr. Modi has an iota, and I repeat, Mr. Modi and Amit Shah have an iota of respect for the people of Kerala. They must sack this MLA
immediately. Let me ask you, Vivek Reddy, what possible reason do you think that Mr. Basangouda Patil has to say what he has?
Padmaja, let me just first, before clarifying on what Basangouda said, let me first clarify that this concept of intellectual and intellectuals trying to preeminently ride over certain discussions, this sort of a statement made by the previous panelists, I don't think this is getting us anywhere. This is not the mindset, or this is not the approach. I mean, you may be an intellectual, you may be far superior to anybody, but don't try to, bulldoze yourself by saying that you're an intellectual. Everybody has a right to, whether he is an intellectual or not. This is not the sort of thing that you portray. That is one. Second thing is, Mr. Basangouda, I think it does not represent BJP's position. It may be his independent discussion, or it may be his independent opinion on the subject, and definitely it does not represent any of BJP's views here. Now, if he has independently made this, it is not in any BJP platform, neither will the BJP stand by such views. That is made clear.
If you don't stand by it, then why don't you take action against him? Because if I'm not mistaken, Vivek Reddy, it was about a month ago when this same gentleman had declared that intellectuals should be shot. You decried it then, but you let him be.
Well, see, look here, Padmaja. There are so many views expressed by so many people, and you can't take the width for every other view and go and chase them. Well, if they have said these things, it is your personal wish. So long as it is clarified that BJP does not stand by this
personal wish, Vivek Reddy, I'm sorry, what personal wish? What he's saying is A, ridiculous, and B, frankly insulting. It's as bad as telling a woman who's been molested, you asked for it. People have lost their lives in Kerala and you're saying, oh, you eat beef, so you asked for it.
It is wrong to portray this statement of his in such a way. If at all
It's
he has
not
said
actually.
it, then it is his personal
It's a pretty
view.
fair
And
comparison.
why are we projecting this view as a view of BJP?
If it's
There
his
may be so
personal
many
view,
different voices.
then sack him from the
There may
party so he can say personal things in his personal capacity.
He is not from the party. Is he an official spokesperson of the party?
He is an
He may be a
MLA.
representative.
Of course he's a
of the
representative.
people.
He fought and won
He
on
may
your
be a
ticket.
representative of yes, he may be a representative of his constituency, but he does not represent the official BJP views.
Of
And
course
there
he
is some
does.
communalizing
People have
of
voted for him because he's from the BJP, not because he's Basangouda
so.
Patil.
Maybe so, but still, he has
So
not
he
said
does
this on the
represent your
platform.
views.
There is a sphere of individual views which the party will not recognize. And these individual views are for the MLA himself. If suppose he blames the act of God for this calamity, or he blames slaughter as an act of God, slaughter as a reprisal of God, well, it is his individual view.
Adil Singh Boparai.
And there is a necessity of bringing in intellectuality here and trying to,
It's a necessity because it's frankly insensitive.
Well, if he is insensitive, he is insensitive. If BJP doesn't stand by those views.
Adil Singh Boparai. Individual insensitivity.
Can I come in now? Padmaja, the problem, it's a ludicrous justification given by the BJP spokesperson. The problem today is the fringe of the yesteryears has been mainstreamed today. Mr. Amit Shah and Narendra Modi have mainstreamed this ideology. Let me point out, Yogi Adityanath, and his speeches are publicly available on the internet, has made some inflammatory statements in the past when he was an MP. The BJP rewarded him with the post of the UP Chief Minister. You have debated Raja Singh, an MLA of the BJP, Padmaja. I've seen on television you debating his ridiculous and highly toxic statements. Has the BJP taken any action? So you have to understand the BJP deliberately plays. This is part of their strategy. They want to communalize everything under the sun. They want to break India along religious and caste lines. This is their strategy. They failed on the economic front. They failed to create a foreign policy situation which is robust and beneficial for India. Now their strategy is to communalize incidents of rape, incidents of crime. And today, I'm at a loss of words. Let me repeat it. How can anybody, right-thinking Indian in 21st century communalize a natural calamity where people have lost their lives, where people are abandoned, where they've lost their kith and kin, where there is unprecedented damage to property? Sack him, Mr. Reddy. Sack him. I've been on debates with you. You seem to be a reasonable person. Publicly take a position today. Sack him
now,
today.
Don't you ask to become the Prime Minister of the country? Are you not an aspirant to become the Prime Minister?
Indulge in whataboutery. You are insulting the victims.
Therefore, you have done enough of harm to this country.
You are insulting the victims of the floods. Don't forget this.
Posture.
So you still
Don't
haven't
try to
done.
come and give a sermon.
No, Miss
This is the
Vivek
problem.
Reddy.
It's a pity.
Vivek Reddy, you can't walk away by saying, don't give me sermons. The thing is that if you say you don't agree with his views, you are doing nothing to make it apparent.
Well, the party has an internal mechanism. We will discuss that.
Sir, like I said a month ago, he said people should be shot.
Hold on, Padmaja.
And your
Hold on,
mechanism
Padmaja.
still
One
hasn't
second.
kicked in.
Let us just consider what our Congress panelist is saying. He had such flowery words and so many statements and invectives to describe so many issues. Well, let me ask him one pointed question because he didn't want to listen to me. When you criminalize the death sentence of an apex court on the attack on the parliament, Kasab, you did not say a word, and the whole party apparatus got his one.
We never did that.
And you did
Your
not
ally
have the
did
nerve
that.
to take a decision.
Mehbooba Mufti
Why
did
did you have the
that.
nerve to
And
take
you
a
went
decision?
and formed the
The
government
reason
with
was
her.
The reason
Sorry,
was
you get your facts
that
wrong.
you
Your
wanted to
erstwhile
criminalize it.
ally
And today
Mehbooba
you,
Mufti did
those
that.
people who criminalized
And stop
it
indulging
are
in
the persons who are
whataboutery. We're
aspiring
talking
to
about the
become Prime
Kerala
Ministers of
floods,
this country.
an attempt by a BJP MLA
So
to
therefore-
communalize a natural calamity.
Therefore, don't try to
Apologize today. You cannot disassociate yourself. He won on a BJP ticket.
You guys have already been exposed. You guys have already been exposed.
You
And
seem
it
to
is
have
part
sold
of
your
this
humanity.
exposure. That
Mr.
is the
Reddy, you
problem
seem
here.
to have sold your conscience to the BJP. It's a pity.
I have not sold my conscience. You have sold your conscience to Congress. Please answer reasonably, sir.
Rahul
This is the question I'm
Ishwar,
asking you.
It's
You have
quite
no answer to
apparent.
this question.
It's quite apparent.
Rahul Ishwar,
people
what
have
would you
lost
like
their
to tell
lives.
Vivek
You are
Reddy?
talking about
He
criminalizing.
says
There is damage.
it's wrong
Can I
to
point out
crucify
one
a
thing?
party.
Can I point out one thing?
Yeah, Rahul
Padma
Ishwar.
can I point out one thing?
Rahul
One,
Ishwar.
I am not an intellectual. I am an ordinary Hindu activist from the state of Kerala. But I believe had Vajpayee ji been alive, he would have said, Raj Dharma ka palan kijiye, or some, at least a strong condemnation on that MLA would have happened. See, it's highly insensitive. Please talk to anybody on ground, whether they belong to left or right. They will have the same sentiments as expressed by us. See, please remember, 20,000 crore is the loss. Thousands of cows died. Hundreds of human beings died. Thousands of houses have been totally damaged. And connecting it to a beef festival or connecting to some kind of a cow slaughter is extremely unfortunate. We will take care of the cows and we will take care of the other things. We will take care of the Supreme Court Sabarimala case too. There may be injustice to us, but we will fight it constitutionally. But here is an occasion where an elected member is doing it is unfortunate, whether he be of any party, whether he be of A party or B party. So my humble request as a Hindu activist and as a person who is in many Gorakshak Samitis is please don't connect it to it. Please don't bring a bad name to our cows. Please don't bring a bad name to our deities or Sabarimala temple or any matter for that matter. Let us talk seriously about ecology or Gadgil report or anything else. But if we are connecting this to it, a young generation will blame us.
Don't use cows as an excuse. Vivek Reddy.
Padmaja.
Well, Padmaja, we have already said that using these cows, bringing the issue of cows is not the main thing. I mean, it is definitely it is definitely wrong on the part of the minister. I'm sorry, the MLA, to link this to the calamity there. Yes, it is wrong. It has nothing to do with it. We have made it clear. But why should we blow this out of proportion? Why should we take it to say that this is the BJP's official stand when we are clarifying that this is not the official stand? We are very clearly saying it is not our official stand. Where is the question of communalizing or trying to, bring in wrong things here, wrong inferences here? When we are saying, what more do you want the BJP to say? BJP has made it very clear that it is not our official stand.
It is
But
quite apparent what everyone here wants the BJP or hopes that the BJP will say.
There is a law for prohibition of cow slaughter.
Of course there is. And there is also a law against people who make provocative statements. But
yes,
I will leave it to the wisdom. I will leave it to the wisdom, and that law does not say that people will face floods and death in floods because of consuming beef, which, by the way, is legal in their state. I will leave it at that for the time being. Thank you very much, Vivek Reddy, Rahul Ishwar and Adil Singh Boparai for having joined us. The other big story that we are tracking today is the trouble that Major Litul Gogoi found himself in, because a court of inquiry has now been ordered to initiate disciplinary action against the man who was given the commendation letter by the army chief not too long ago. How did things degenerate so fast? Here's the full story.
An image that stunned the world last year of local Kashmiri man Farooq Ahmed Dar tied to a jeep as a human shield against stone pelters during the Srinagar bypoll. The army officer who ordered this, Major Litul Gogoi, shot into the headlines, hailed as a villain as well as a hero. Protests and a wave of tension followed, focusing attention on the army's actions in Kashmir. But while the officer managed to duck action for the contentious field action, a decision he made a year later, in May this year, has landed him in certain trouble. Major Litul Gogoi was detained on May 23rd this year after a fist fight with the staff of a Srinagar hotel. He had allegedly been caught trying to check into that hotel with an 18-year-old Kashmiri woman. The issue blew up, with Army Chief General Bipin Rawat promising the strictest action if any rules had found to be violated. And now 3 months later, the hammer has fallen. A court of inquiry has found enough reason to order disciplinary action against Major Gogoi on the grounds that he is found to have wrongfully made contact with a local woman against rules and that he had no business being away from his place of duty by visiting the hotel in an operational area. Major Gogoi may be court-martialed and may even be dismissed from service depending on how the proceedings go.
Given the kind of polarization that had happened when Major Gogoi first made headlines last year after tying up a Kashmiri man to his jeep, it's very likely that the recent events would once again trigger a debate over the questions as to whether an example was being made of the Indian Army's one of the most controversial young officers in the recent times. With cameraman Roof Shujaul Haq in Srinagar for India Today.
All right, that's it then on today's edition of People's Court. But remember, if you want more details on those stories and much more quick and crisp on your mobile, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube news channel, Newsmo. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.